There is a moment, not loud, not sudden, just quiet. You reach for your phone to tell them something, and then you remember. You walk past their chair, and it's empty. Not empty like a room is empty. Empty like a piece of the world just got switched off. You didn't know silence could be this heavy. You didn't know a single missing voice could make an entire house feel abandoned. You didn't know that losing one person could make everything else feel smaller, dimmer, further away. Maybe it was sudden. Maybe you had no warning, no goodbye, no final words. Or maybe you watched it happen slowly, every day taking a little more of them until there was nothing left to hold on to. Maybe they didn't die at all. Maybe they just left, walked away, stopped answering. And somehow that silence hurts just as much as a grave. You keep waiting for the ache to make sense. It won't. Not today. Maybe not for a long time. You keep thinking you'll wake up and it will have been a dream. You won't. You keep replaying the last conversation, the last look, the last moment you didn't know was the last moment. And you tell yourself you should be over this by now. You are not weak for still hurting. You are not broken for still crying in the middle of an ordinary afternoon. You are not failing at grief. There is no schedule for a wound like this. If you are hearing this right now, carrying a silence no one else can hear, an empty chair no one else sees, a name you whisper into rooms that will never answer back, then hear this. You are not alone in this silence. Millions of people are sitting in their own version of your empty room right now, in this exact second, feeling the exact same weight you feel. This ache does not mean something is wrong with you. It means something real was taken from you. And real love always leaves real grief behind. So don't rush this. Don't hide this. Don't pretend the silence isn't there. Because before you can carry this, you have to name it. Before you can rise from this, you have to face what it actually took from you and how many different shapes this kind of losing can wear. Before you can rise from this, you have to face what it actually took from you and how many different shapes this kind of losing can wear. Because loss does not come in one shape. It does not knock on your door the same way every time. It wears 100 different faces, and yours might not look like the one the world expects. Maybe for you, it was a phone call in the middle of the night. 1 second they existed, and the next second they didn't. No warning, no chance to say the things you were saving for later. Just a door slammed shut, with no time to prepare, no time to brace yourself, no time to say goodbye. Or maybe your loss was slower than that. Maybe you watched the person you love disappear one day at a time. A little less memory, a little less strength, a little less of who they used to be, until the person in front of you barely resembled the one you grew up loving. You grieved them before they were even gone. You said goodbye 1,000 small times before you ever said it for real. Or maybe nobody died at all. Maybe the person you lost is still walking around on this earth, still breathing, still living their life, just not with you in it anymore. A marriage that ended. A friendship that quietly faded into nothing. A parent who chose to walk away. And somehow, this kind of loss confuses people because there's no funeral for it. No casserole dishes on your doorstep. No one telling you they're sorry for your loss. Just you, alone, grieving someone the world doesn't realize is gone. Maybe it was a mentor whose voice used to guide you, and now that voice has gone silent. Maybe it was a childhood friend, someone who knew every version of you, and now they're a stranger. Maybe it was a version of your family that used to exist and doesn't anymore. Every single one of these is real. Every single one of these deserves to be called what it is: grief. You don't need a death certificate to justify your pain. You don't need permission to hurt over something the rest of the world doesn't fully understand. If it took something from you, if it left a hole where a person used to stand, then you are allowed to call this what it is. So stop comparing your grief to somebody else's. Stop telling yourself that your loss doesn't count because it wasn't dramatic enough, sudden enough, or public enough. Grief does not grade itself on a curve. Pain is not a competition. What you lost mattered, and that is enough. Maybe you are grieving a person. Maybe you are grieving a future you thought you'd have with them. Maybe you are grieving the version of yourself that existed before this happened, because that person is gone too. Whatever face your loss wears, hear this. It is valid. It is real. And it deserves to be looked at directly, not buried, not minimized, not explained away. Because the moment you stop running from what this actually is the moment you can finally start deciding what to do with it. Because the moment you stop running from what this actually is the moment you can finally start deciding what to do with it. And here is where most people get it wrong. Here is where most people get stuck for years, sometimes for the rest of their lives. They think grief is the enemy. They think the ache in their chest is something to be defeated, silenced, avoided at all costs. So they run. They numb. They distract. They tell themselves they are fine. They are over it. They don't need to feel this. And in doing that, they hand their pain more power than it ever asked for. Hear this clearly. Grief is not your enemy. Denial is. Grief is not what is destroying you. Pretending you don't feel it, that is what's destroying you. Burying it under work, under noise, under a fake smile that never reaches your eyes, that is what's destroying you. Telling yourself you should be over this by now, that is what's destroying you. You do not have two options here that people think you have. It is not grieve or don't grieve. It is grieve or slowly rot from the inside while pretending you're fine. So choose wisdom over denial. Choose to feel this instead of numbing it. Choose to let this reshape you instead of letting it quietly break you in the dark. Because here is the truth. Nobody told you. This pain you carry, this weight, this ache that shows up when you least expect it, it is not proof that you are weak. It is proof that you loved. It is proof that what you had was real. It is proof that some connections are strong enough to leave scars behind, and only the deepest ones do that. You do not grieve strangers. You do not grieve people who meant nothing. You grieve because they meant everything, and your heart is simply refusing to lie about that. So stop apologizing for still hurting. Stop treating your grief like a flaw to be corrected. Stop measuring your healing by how fast you can make the pain disappear. Healing was never about erasing what happened. Healing was never about forgetting them, moving on like they didn't matter, acting like this loss left no mark. Real healing means you learn to carry this weight without letting it crush you. Real healing means you let this grief teach you something instead of just torturing you. Real healing means the love doesn't have to die just because they did or just because they left. You do not have to choose between honoring them and moving forward. You do not have to choose between missing them and living fully. You do not have to choose between this pain and your future. You can carry both. You are strong enough to carry both. So stop denying what happened. Stop pretending this doesn't still hurt sometimes. Stop treating your own heart like an enemy for still loving someone who is no longer here in the way you need them to be. Face it. Feel it. Let it be real. Because on the other side of that honesty is something denial can never give you. Not an ending to the pain, but the strength to rise while still carrying it. Because on the other side of that honesty is something denial can never give you. Not an ending to the pain, but the strength to rise while still carrying it. So rise with me now. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Right now, in this moment, while the ache is still fresh, while the memory is still close, say these words like you mean them. Say, I will grieve, but I will not break. Say it again. I will grieve, but I will not break. You are allowed to cry. You are allowed to fall apart on a random Tuesday. You are allowed to feel the full weight of this loss. But you will not let it be the thing that ends you. You will not let it be the thing that defines the rest of your life. You will grieve and you will still stand. Say, I will remember, but I will not stay stuck. Their memory deserves a place in your heart, not a prison in your mind. You can hold on to who they were without freezing your own life in the moment they left. You can honor the past without living the rest of your days trapped inside it. You will remember and you will still move. Say, I will carry them forward. Not bury them, not forget them. Carry them in how you treat people, in the lessons they taught you, in the strength you didn't know you had until you were forced to find it. They do not have to be physically here for their fingerprints to still be on your life. Say it louder this time. I will grieve, but I will not break. I will remember, but I will not stay stuck. I will carry them forward. Feel that. Feel what happens in your chest when you say it like you mean it, not like a script, not like empty words, but like a decision. Because that's exactly what this is. A decision. You did not choose this loss. You did not choose this pain. But you get to choose what you do with it starting today. You can let this loss make you bitter, or you can let it make you deeper. You can let this loss make you hide from love, or you can let it make you love harder, because now you understand exactly how precious it is. You can let this loss shrink your life, or you can let it expand your compassion for every single person walking around with a grief you cannot see. Say it one more time and mean it with everything in you. I will grieve, but I will not break. I will remember, but I will not stay stuck. I will carry them forward. This is not weakness. This is the strongest thing a human being can do. Feeling everything and still choosing to rise. You are not required to have this figured out today. You are not required to be healed by tomorrow. But you are required to keep going. One honest breath at a time, one small act of courage at a time, one choice at a time to let love outlast loss. Rise with your grief still in your hands. Rise with their name still on your lips. Rise not because the pain is gone, but because you are stronger than the pain ever gave you credit for. You are still here. That means the story is not over. That means there is still a version of your life where this loss becomes part of your strength instead of the end of it. So carry them forward into a life that still has more waiting for you than you can see right now. So carry them forward into a life that still has more waiting for you than you can see right now. Picture it. Not today, maybe not next month, but somewhere ahead of you, there is a version of your life where this loss has settled into something you can hold with steady hands instead of shaking ones. Picture yourself laughing again, fully, without the guilt that used to follow right behind it. Picture yourself telling a story about them and smiling before the tears even come. Picture yourself standing somewhere beautiful, feeling the sun on your face and realizing you are still capable of peace. They are gone, but they are not gone from you. Not really. Not in the ways that matter most. They live on in the patience you learned from watching them struggle. They live on in the kindness you now offer strangers because you know what it feels like to be quietly breaking on the inside. They live on every time you choose courage over fear because somewhere along the way, they showed you what courage looked like. You carry their voice in the advice you now give to others. You carry their strength in the way you get back up after hard days. You carry their love in every person you now love a little harder because loss taught you not to take any of it for granted. This is what it means to live on. Not walking around untouched, like nothing ever happened. Living on means their fingerprints are still shaping how you move through this world, long after they stopped moving through it themselves. So do not let this loss become the end of your story. Let it become the chapter where you learned what really matters. Let it become the moment your compassion deepened, your gratitude grew, your understanding of life became something richer than it ever was before. You are not betraying them by healing. You are not dishonoring them by finding joy again. The greatest tribute you can give someone who loved you is to keep living fully, bravely, gratefully, with their spirit woven into every good thing you still choose to build. So walk forward now. Walk forward with their blessing on your shoulders, whether they gave it in words or simply in the way they lived. Walk forward carrying their light instead of only their absence. You loved, you lost, and still, here you stand. That is not weakness. That is not a wound that ends you. That is proof of a heart brave enough to love completely and strong enough to keep loving even after everything it cost you. Let them live on in how you rise tomorrow. Let them live on in how you love the people still standing beside you. Let them live on in the life you now choose to build in their honor. Go live that life, fully, bravely, with their spirit walking beside you every single step of the way.